Good afternoon, third graders. Good afternoon, third graders and fourth graders. I don't hear you. Okay, I'm here today to introduce some members of the fourth grade who are here to give you wonderful tips for taking the NJASK because they are now experts, having taken it last year themselves. And for those of you in the fourth grade audience, this should confirm what you already know about the test and help you review for it. So I'm going to let the students, the experts, take it away, and I'm leaving Miss Schwebel.
Hello, my name is Hassan and I am from class from 4-2.
Hassana, what can you do to be your best on the day of the test? Can you give the students some tips to do the morning and the night before the test?
Yes, I think you should get pretty sleep. You should go to sleep at 8:30. You should get a well-healthy breakfast and you should cut down on the television. You should also study a sample booklet and also exercise your brain.
Those are some very good tips, students. If you haven't heard those before, remember them now. Hassana, what should you remember to do on multiple choice questions? Do you have any tips for the students?
I think you should fill in the bubble fully, think over your question, and reread your question after you finish.
Excellent answers. And I have one more question for you. Those pesky open-ended questions, which are very difficult.
You should answer all the parts. You should use complete sentences. You should use your checklist. You should not have at least 3 paragraphs. And you should read the questions and directions carefully.
Hello, my name is Zachary Freeman from 4-4.
What can you do to be the best on the day of the test? What can you do the day before, the night before, and the morning of the test? What tips can you give us?
Well, you should get a good night's sleep, eat your full breakfast, and be to school on time.
Good responses. What do you remember to do when you're working on those multiple choice questions? Do you have any test-taking tips yourself?
You should use process of elimination if the questions are too hard for you, or if you are left with 2 answers left, make an educated guess.
That is a perfect answer. That, boys and girls, you must remember that. What about answering open-ended in reading and math? Any tips about those?
I recommend that you read the question over as many times as you can to have a full understanding, and you should think about what the question is asking you to do.
Those are very well thought out responses. What about number 4, the speculative prompt? What should you remember for that in order to make sure that you finish your story and do a good job?
You should always do a pre-write to generate some possible brainstorming ideas.
The pre-write is extremely important. You don't want to spend too long on it, but yes, you must do a pre-write, boys and girls. And what about the poetry prompt? Do you have any tips for that?
Same thing, pre-write, and think about what the prompt is asking you to do.
Thank you so much. That was a great job.
Hi, my name is Faith and I'm from classroom 4-1.
Faith, perhaps you can add your expertise to the students who went before you in giving some advice to the other students about how to prepare for the test. So what are your tips on the night before and the morning of the test?
I would say practice all writing prompts or test prep work that you have done related to NJASK.
Okay, very good. And what about what you should remember to do with the multiple choice questions?
Well, I would say usually 2 answers are usually very wrong, so you have a 50-50 chance.
Okay, so if you're torn between 2 of the answers that could be right, then you should What do you think you should do between the two if you're not sure?
I think you should go back to the passage or reread the question, and then you will get the answer.
Very good. And I guess if all else fails, then you make your best guess, but you try to find evidence from the text to support your answer. You're exactly right. Let's see. When you're reading an open-ended question in either math or reading, what should you do?
Always read the directions and the prompt, and then you will get the answer.
Now when we get to the writing with the speculative prompt, what should you think of so you make sure you have a great story in answer to the speculative prompt?
Well, I think you should always read directions, and in the NJASK you will have bullet points that tell you what to write in the story, so I think you should read the prompt and the directions.
That's so important, because if you don't read the directions, you have no chance of getting a good score on the test. That's an excellent tip. And for the last question, what should you think about with the poetry prompt?
Always read directions. It's the most important thing to do on the NJASK.
And we're going to leave off with that one because that is the most important one. As you said, always read the directions. Signing off, it's Mrs. Schwabel at East Orange Community Church.
Yes, ready! You know what you know! Turn on your brain and let it flow!
Oh, good. To help recall your information for the test, try to visualize a graphic, a chart, your notes, or the text. Pull the information to the front of your brain. Articulate your thoughts in meaningful and manageable ways.
Make sure to read and follow all directions. Underline keywords and helpful phrases too. Explain, describe, do, and do not do. Choose, circle, define, name a few. Test ready! You know what you know! Turn on your brain and let it flow! Test ready! You know what you know! Turn on your brain and let it flow! Process of elimination is a good technique to keep the strong answers and eliminate the weak. B and C are close. D, I definitely won't use. A is the best answer, so that's what I'll choose. If you have extra time once you finish the test, double check your answers to ensure that they are the best. Are all erasures clean with no stray marks? Have you answered all questions? Are they legible? Are the bubbles dark?
Everybody, come join us.
Test ready! You know what you know!